Okay, it is 9:25 a.m. December the 15th, 2021, and I am very thankful to God that today I can actually trade OTCs on Fidelity. I was able to I was able to hide my account number so I don't have to put an annoying sensor box like the entire time. And especially if I'm like scrolling around moving it a lot, it's just always going to be there and it's going to look dumb. But I was able to organize this the best that I could, and it's actually not really that bad. Now, unfortunately, because this is a brand new platform, it's with real money, not paper trading or anything like that, and I can be able to trade OTCs. I did try just to test order to see how the platform works and all of that, to see if there was any issues. I am able to trade now, but I think for my first OTC trade, if we even have a setup today, I'm going to not do a $30 risk level. I'm going to do 15 just in case some crazy mess happens, with the platform, just something unexpected. I just want to play it safe, really. I'm going to assume nothing is going to come up. I already tried the test order, and the one thing I was able to do is figure out that the direct trade thing that Fidelity offers on their platform does not work with OTC, so I had to go back to this one right here, which actually isn't that bad. I did have some experience with Schwab, like placing an order here, figuring out my dollar risk level, and then boom, taking a quick buy at the actual account I'm going to trade with. So that's going to be the case right here, and if there is a setup, I'm probably going to take it, but I will try to do a $15 risk level just for the first trade, which will be a morning penny bounce play ideally. But if it's not one, then it's going to be an even smaller $8 risk level. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm really happy that I can trade OTCs again. I'm going to try not to do anything dumb. That's the most important part. Just play it safe, piece by piece. And yeah, we'll see if we have any setups. Okay, it is 9:39 a.m. and I did take a look. I'm very happy that I didn't have this ability that, oh, I can trade again OTCs, this is great, and then I do some dumb crap, right, or I push myself too hard or something like that. I haven't traded anything. There hasn't been any setups. That is nice. LWLG kind of looks like it could have done a morning panic balance play, but it wasn't nice on the daily chart. It's a high priced OTC. It was trading with a spread. It was super close to VWAP, so I never took this one, even though it is, like what, 30 cents above this range it was trading in. This thing is just not very nice looking. Nothing here with AABB that looks impressive. It didn't drop a considerable amount or trade with a decent amount of volume. This uptrending OTC didn't offer one. Well, I guess it might offer one now, but I'd like it to have a little more volume. This one did do one, but this one was too quick in the way it did it, and it was just a very sharp level 2 reversal. I also traded with a spread here, so it wasn't like I even had much of an opportunity to be in, which is totally fine. If we have an OTC setup, I'll be interested in this. And I think another one, this one kind of looks like one. Well, yeah, you see here, I didn't like how close to VWAP it was. Now it might be a little more ideal for a setup, but the range, 20 cents on the $10 stock, it's not really that ideal. But if we see something super clean, I'll be interested. And I am kind of looking at BLU, how it just went red. Maybe this can be some kind of short setup if something really clean presents itself, maybe like a confirmed breakdown or something like that. Alright, it is 10:08 a.m. and as for BLU, it did kind of do that thing I was thinking about, but I never took a trade. I didn't load Interactive Broker, so I never really was part of this. Even if I had Interactive Brokers, I don't know if I would have taken the short position here because it didn't get that close to the level right here, 819. Actually, no, it is kind of close given the price, range that it's at, 811 to 819, 820-ish. And then VWAP was definitely downtrending the entire time. This was a cool short setup idea. I mean, right now it'd be about 30 cents a profit, give or take. And it could, I guess, try to turn around here. This is a second green candle if it closes green, but that was interesting there. I'm really happy that I was able to trade OTCs again, and I lost on both of the setups, but I barely lost anything. because that's how safe I play it. And I was in LKNCY for a morning panic bounce play. So this one, because it was the first time I was trading on, you know, Fidelity, my first day and everything, I did trade a smaller $15 risk level instead of a $30 risk level. And there wasn't really any issues placing orders or anything like that. The only thing annoying is that when I place an order, and I'll see if I can get rid of it, there's like this confirmation thing. It shows your order number and everything. It doesn't like take you back to this window, so I have to exit that, click there, open a new trading tab, and then type in the ticker, you know, sell. And it's not really efficient, but if that's gonna let me not pay commissions, that's totally worth it. So I was on the right track, just not at the right moment when it did the setup. But I was in 25 shares at 1050. So I guess this doesn't have the order preview, so let's just, you know, do it here. Right, 25 shares at 1041 was where I actually got executed. Okay, it looks like this one never went through. I traded a $260 position. I was trading a $15 risk level, and again, that was me being in at 948. So my entry was right here, and I liked it because it looked like it could have worked out, because it was failing. Sure, it tried here and it failed. It tried here and it failed, but at this point there was like a lot more distance from VWAP, which made it more ideal. I like how I had the downtrend and then it had a spike, right, showing that it could try to do some kind of nice price action, and then it comes back near the lows. That's why I was interested in it here, and it didn't work here, but you know, I'm glad I was able to partake in it and try it. This is something that I've noticed. Sometimes it does that. It drops, finds a new low, bounces, comes back near the low and breaks it again. So I probably need to readjust how I think with these type of setups. Maybe just wait for more distance from VWAP, or wait for more strength and maybe be in at a higher price, but you know, also a higher odd that, you know, odds that is going to uptrend and actually play out there when I'm in the setup. So again, I was in at right here 948. I didn't like how I got in the setup and it wasn't like immediately working. The price action didn't look that nice when that was happening. Like, I thought when I was going to get in, it was going to do it right then and there by the way it looked at the time. So because of the fact that it wasn't looking like it was working immediately, I did sell 949 right here, 10 shares, so almost half my position. My thing was at 1045, which was actually a great execution. I sold 10 shares here. Again, I was in here at 1041, right, 1041 here, right when it looked like it was going to work. You can see it closed a bit lower, just a tiny bit. I just didn't like the price action again, and I got out again almost half, 1045, and then okay, if it's not going to work, if it's going to break, you know, my risk level, which in theory was 1034, so if it were to have gotten at that level or broken under it, I would be out. And that's exactly what happened. I was out at 1035, pretty much, you know, my risk level, no slippage thankfully, and I was out at 950 right here. So again, when it kind of broke it here, you know, I got out, right, for that reason. Even if it closed back at 1036, maybe it was just a little dip below it and I'll come back. That's not how I trade. If it breaks it, I get out. More than likely than not, it'll continue to downtrend, which it did. It totally did. And then I did try to place an order here at 1028, but I did not get executed. Maybe I would have been executed if I left the order sitting for longer, because it looked like it did in this minute touch 1028. This was it. This one played out ultimately, and it makes sense, you know, when you look at the chart. It was playing off of this level, but when I was in at 1041, it was playing at the upper range of this level. So, you know, I still did a good, you know, trade attempt. Even if it didn't work when I got in, it still worked eventually, and I'm glad that I at least tried to get in. and the one that did play out eventually too. It did get to 1050. It got to VWAP, which is always the goal and to sell into. Yeah, so ultimately not the best range. I mean, 20 cents on a $10 stock, but I like the way it traded, even though, you know, again, it didn't work right here. And then my second trade, KYNC. Now, I did actually have a fat finger mistake, but, you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, actually. It was in my favor, but I wanted 10,000 shares, and I only had 1,000 because, you know, I'm doing my dollar risk level, blah, blah, blah. Then I switch here, and I just didn't put in the extra 0, which is fine. And this was, in theory, a morning panic bounce play lower low setup. Here's the drop, morning panic, bounce, right, lower low. And this one did actually break, you know, the low. So I got out. I was in at 10.4, and that was, yeah, that was 10.03. Right here, 10.03 was when I was in at 10.04. So right here was my entry at 10.03. Right here. And then, you know, because I only had a tenth of what I actually wanted to trade, I thought, alright, I'll get out if it actually breaks, you know, my risk level. I won't like try to sell half or a portion of it at a higher price. I mean, it did get to 10.6, which was kind of cool, right? But there were just too many people selling into the bid, and that wasn't ideal, of course. And I did get out 10.07 right here, right when it broke, you know, 10.2, which was you know, a risk level. And also 10.3 had a lot of people at the bid. They were all taken out, so I got out again at 10.1. I mean, I would have lost a really small amount even if I did go in full size. I think I lost like maybe $1 with LKNCY and maybe like 40 cents with KYNC, which is totally fine. Yeah, that's what I have. Sure, it can try to turn around here, but I don't like how VWAP is downtrending. It just means there's less range. Obviously, it can go to 11, you know, 11.5 or 11.6 or maybe even higher, but it's just less likely it's going to work. Unlike LKNCY, when it did reach its final bottom here, at least VWAP had distance from it. You know, that matters a lot if you ask me, but this one can totally try to turn around here. I just don't like it for that reason. Here's a morning panic bounce play, higher low setup. This one can break VWAP and do something towards the upside. I'd be watching 10.50 to see how it plays there. That's all I have for right now. I'll make an update to see what LKNCY does later. It's kind of cool that I traded this one as my first trade. You know, when, you know, I'm able to trade OTCs again, as it was also the last OTC I traded on Schwab without commission. So that is kind of cool. Let's see if this thing can do anything more than this. If it can get to 10.50, it can, but it doesn't have to. And I'll make an update later to see how it does. So far, not so good. And yeah, pretty nice move with the BLU. That was a pretty cool short setup. I haven't been able to short sell listed stocks again for really my entire trading career. I mean, I could have short some at Schwab, but like stocks like this that are super popular, not really. That's something that I have access to, so I might be interested in shorting too, on top of now OTCs, because, you know, thanks to God, the broker works and everything like that. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than paying commissions. It is 12:13 p.m. and I want to make an update. I'm going to stop looking at the markets. I haven't been looking at it too much recently, but I will definitely not be looking at them anymore because I have a bunch of work I need to catch up with. But although I didn't really make money and you know, it stinks, I was on the right track with KYNC. This ended up being the bottom, and I'm glad it did something, because at the time it didn't look like there was a lot of range with VWAP. It did kind of like one failed attempt, two failed attempts, and then this is the one that worked out. And this was a nice move, because I mean, you could have called it maybe at 97, right? Maybe here after you start seeing some kind of confirmation and a new level that it might try to play off of 95, kind of adding like another layer of security. This would have been sketchy right here, but You know, it did make a move from 95 to 106, which is a lot in terms of percentage. And then it did this like low volume uptrend here, which is cool, but that's not really something I'm interested in doing, holding a setup for that long. But that was kind of nice to see in LKNCY. It did bottom here, and I think when I last recorded, we were looking to see if it was going to do something off of 1050. I'm not sure if it was here or here, but it did downtrend, but it was a higher low. You can call this an inverse head and shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, right? And then did make a move to 1060. It ain't moved that much more, but I mean, for those who like them, this is a higher priced OTC that you can trade a lot more size, I guess, in theory. I don't really like high priced OTCs that much, but pretty happy that, you know, the patterns are still working. I just didn't get the turnaround, and you know, maybe I can do some kind of adjustment where if it drops and then it looks like it's gonna do it, and then it kind of has a little lower, risking the level. Maybe I have to be more picky with the way VWAP is, or just be more patient. I'm not extremely sure. I'm gonna just, you know, learn from this. If I keep seeing some kind of pattern that I'm not in at the actual bottom and I'm too early, I can just make an adjustment and move forward from there. I'm happy that there were setups. Otherwise, that's really all I have, and I'll make an update later when the markets are closed. Okay, it is 4:34 p.m. and I am here to call it off. Just really cool that I was able to trade OTCs again without paying commissions, and the platform actually wasn't that bad. Again, I don't like how as soon as I place an order, this whole entire thing disappears, shows a confirmation message, and again, the order number. I don't like that. If I can find a way to remove that, that's going to be gone, so it can just stay like this, and I can see my entries and exits right here to the right side, and I don't have to, exit, open a new trading window, and then try again. So overall, pretty happy with the platform. I'm happy that I traded a small position size, just in case something crazy would have happened, some kind of weird thing with the platform, or just something dumb, and I'm full size, and that's pretty bad. So overall, I'm down just like I'm down 90 cents today with 2 trades. Now in theory, if I was full sized with KYNC, if I was in 10,000 shares instead of 1,000, I probably would have lost maybe $2, because I would have sold. No, I would have lost like $1, because I would have lost $1 or $2, because I would have sold half immediately when it wasn't looking like it was working right then and there when I was in the setup, and then the other half I probably would have sold when it got to that risk level here. So I would have been out then and there, and there wasn't really like massively crazy slippage, but I probably would have lost like $2 on that trade again if I was full size. So really not bad at all. Great experience just trying again with the same setups I'm really good at least I think, with a new broker. And I was right, it just wasn't when I was in. This one offered a nice move, actually with a percentage, but this would have been stupid hard to hold through. I probably would have sold at VWAP very happily, and LKNCY also eventually did it. I was in it here for this one, and I was in here for this one. So I was on the right track. It just didn't happen then and there. As for the short setup, I think it was this one, right? I'm not extremely sure anymore, but I didn't see anything that I really wanted. If it were to have been something clean looking for a short setup, I probably would remember which one of those 2 listed stocks the setup was. And AXXA, nice green day. Maybe this can be a morning panic bounce play. And we also have a new one, ENGA, although this one's a higher price OTC. If this one can try to run for more than just one day, that would be awesome for a morning panic bounce play. I'm happy that I'm able to trade OTCs again. The long wait is over, and I will make another video tomorrow, God willing. I'm really happy with today.